Alright guys, so it's super rough and windy today, but if you know me, we're still gonna fish. So today I'm gonna try and complete my first ever MTB Montauk slam. And if you guys haven't known, for a little while I've had, you know, a subscription with MTB for a little while, and now I'm actually kind of working with them. And for a while I've always had the freshwater box. So finally I switched my freshwater box to the Pro saltwater box, which was a smarter decision considering I live in the Mecca, Montauk, surrounded by saltwater. I might as well get a saltwater box. And here's what we got. So I'm gonna try and do my first slam on a really windy September Montauk day. And we have these little swim baits here. Charlie Saltwater Edition. I've never heard of them before, but we're gonna try it. Then we got the Vortex Shad, another little jerk bait, soft plastic, like little swim bait to put that on a jig head. Then we have Z-Man scented pogies, basically like soft little swim baits. Then we have the usual suspects, little pintail minnow, you know, a little soft shad, little jerk bait. Got some little swim bait hooks, which today, we're not gonna use them today. Way too windy. Got a little topwater yo-zuri floating pencil, they call it. Really good, probably would kill the albies and would probably do well for bass, but today is really windy. So this one's gonna be tough. And then this right here, it's like a bone colored Lucky Craft little jerk bait here. This will probably get the job done today also. And then we got this little thing in there, which is like a wire leader with an egg sinker on it. Not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with this today. Probably not use it at all, but in the future, maybe I could turn this into, you know, like a bluefish leader or something. But we got some good stuff though. I think we could definitely get some work done and catch some fish. So let's do it. I'm sure you guys are well aware what an MTB box is. Basically a monthly subscription, and it helps out with, you know, changing it up a little bit and finding new baits that you regularly wouldn't fish with. And I think we're going to try out the little Lucky Craft jerk bait here first. I don't even know if I'll be able to cast this too well, but we're going to try. We're gonna try. It's got a nice like bone color to it. I think a striper is gonna totally attack this. Woo! I'm getting sand blasted. Wind's blowing the sand right across the beach and against my legs. Seems like the tide is still going out a little bit. Yesterday I was catching some fish here on the incoming, so a lot later in the day. And I'm kind of just trying to cast like right along the rocks because that's where, you know, most of the bait is kind of hanging out, trying to get out of the main current. You know, and the bait's also getting pushed in by the waves, so that's where the stripers are probably going to be, hanging along the rocks. I think it's hopeless right now. Just way too many weeds. Can't even make a cast without getting a clump of weeds on there. Might try that point over there. Might be out of the weeds over there, I don't know. Yeah.
All right guys, so I don't know. At this point I thought today was going to be a flop, and at this spot the water was clean, it was isolated from the wind, it looked really good, but it was just missing fish. After about 40 minutes or so, I decided to make one last ditch effort and go back to the jetty. And somewhere in between there, somehow I unplugged my microphone, so you're gonna notice a slight change in audio. But I did notice that the tide actually flushed out some of the weeds, so I could make a decent cast with hopes of actually hooking up.
I know you're here. Come on, come on. There he is. I got one. Found one. Got One bait down. I don't know, a certain amount to go. I don't know how many more I have left, but I got a few more to catch. So the tide coming up a little higher helped push through some of the weeds, and it helped, you know, get me my first bite. I'm gonna throw back on the little Lucky Craft. Might be able to get a bite on this now that the weed's a little bit cleaner, you know, the water's a little bit cleaner. Yeah, before I couldn't even make a cast without getting weeds. Oh, there he is. Oh, we hit it. Striper's jumping out of the water. Crazy. But yeah, I couldn't even make a cast without getting weeds. Now it's like every other cast, I'm getting weeds, so at least I can, you know, find a couple fish. This guy killed it. Whew. All right, 2 fish down. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna take off the Lucky Craft. I'm gonna put back on the jig head, but take off the little Z-Man scented pogies. Let's try this little Charlie's Salted Edition, basically like a little Bass Assassin. All right, that looks pretty good. I mean, the jig head's a little big for the bait, but in this rough water, I don't think it'll matter. So I'm kind of just casting this out and letting it sink down a little bit, because there's such a big swell in the inlet, which usually, these are like really rough waves for the inlet. And then I'm just kind of lightly swimming it along. And all my bites so far came like right on the edge of these rocks. That's where these fish are hanging out, feeding on the bait. There he is. This guy hit it on the drop. Felt him thump it. Okay. Fish number 3. Bait number 3 down. Let's see what else we got. Another good looking bait, kind of very similar to a you know, Bass Assassin. These baits would probably be killer for like snook down in Florida, or sea trout. In November, I'm probably going down to South Carolina for redfish and sea trout, so these would also work for that too. That last fish hit it right out there by a small little pile of boulders. There he is. Another one there. Right in that same spot. They're probably stacked there pretty good. Wow, look at this tank. All right, 4th bait down. There we go. They're gonna totally kill this bait right here. Using my little TA fast clip, hook it on right there. And I think that's pretty much about it. We just have the hooks, this little wire leader with an egg sinker on it, and then this little pencil, you know, spook type bait, which I don't really think they're gonna hit this today, but we can try it. All right, this thing is really light. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it down to get a bite. Oh, one crushed it on the surface. Yeah, man. That's probably one of the bigger ones of the day too. So since that fish hit it so close to the surface, we're gonna try that little spook. You never know, it might work. This little guy right here by Yo-zuri. All right, let's give it a shot. Just had a good blow up from a fish on the spook. Come on, I gotta do that again. I was working it fast before, like jerk, 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 kind of giving it, oh, another blow up. I was working it fast before, kind of giving it like a really fast, erratic action. Now I'm just giving it like a little pop and letting it sit there. And I just had 2 strikes. Come on back. I hope he's still there. Come on. Oh, there he is. Oh my gosh. That striper went airborne. Go figure, the biggest one of the evening, smashed it on top. Woo! All right, FishAholic, so fishing accomplished. First MTB slam, you know, almost fully accomplished. I guess I didn't use 2 things in the box, which were the wire leader with the egg sinker and the swim bait hooks. I didn't use those 2 items, but I used all the other baits and caught fish on them, which that's pretty awesome. And I knew there were going to be some stripers here today, but in the beginning it was really tough because of all the weeds that were, you know, going in and out with the tide. And once the tide started coming in, you know, pretty good, it washed all that weeds up inside the harbor. And then the water got cleaner and I was able to come back here and actually catch fish because I could work through the weeds. And man, look at that sunset. Whew. You know, that's like the icing on the cake right there after completing my first ever MTB slam. And I'll put a coupon code down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. And it gives you $10 off your first box. And yeah, it was fun. You know, I got some good new baits, and I'm kind of excited to see what else I can catch with them, because I'm going to be going down to you know, Florida and probably South Carolina as soon as I'm done with Montauk. So I'll be able to bring these baits with me and have them to catch, you know, other inshore species such as, you know, redfish, sea trout, you know, snook. So it'll be pretty cool to put them to the test. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And never forget, live to fish, fish to live.